Welcome to another episode of Books and Bytes. Ever feel like you're just like wrestling with thoughts and emotions and past hurts and just the relentless need to control everything? Like, what if I told you that there was a way to release that grip, unlock more joy, and move forward with greater ease? Today, we are diving deep into the powerful four-stage process of letting go. As outlined in John Purkiss's insightful book, The Power of Letting Go, we're going to be exploring how this isn't about giving up, but about actively shedding what weighs you down so you can truly thrive.
You've highlighted a core human experience, right? That feeling of being burdened, and Purkiss offers, I think, a really compelling path towards liberation. You've shared excerpts that really get to the heart of his four-stage model, and I think our goal here is to provide you with a clear understanding of these steps and how they can lead to a more fulfilling life. Not just skimming the surface, but we're extracting the essential wisdom that you can apply directly.
Okay, so let's get into the foundation of this. John Purkiss brings a really interesting perspective. Having spent years in the corporate world as an executive search consultant before becoming a personal development coach, his book, The Power of Letting Go, essentially argues that a lot of our struggles stem from holding on to things, emotional baggage, the illusion of control. He provides a structured approach to identify these anchors and actively choose to release them.
What's so fascinating here is Purkiss's understanding that true progress, both internal and external, often requires us to shed rather than accumulate. He recognized that even outwardly successful individuals frequently carry significant inner burdens. His framework, drawing from mindfulness, timeless spiritual principles, and modern psychological insights, emphasizes that letting go is a dynamic and empowering skill.
And that skill is developed through four distinct stages. The first one, be present and enjoy each moment. Seems deceptively simple. We all know we should be present, but Purkiss emphasizes that this is the bedrock of happiness and success. He points out how easily we get trapped in rumination about the past, anxiety about the future, effectively missing out on the richness of the now.
The key insight here, I think, is that being present isn't about stopping thoughts, but about not becoming your thoughts, creating a space for clearer perspective. Purkiss suggests tangible practices like meditation, even brief moments of focused breathing, to anchor yourself in the present. He also highlights the power of consciously savoring simple experiences and cultivating gratitude, which naturally shifts your attention to the positive aspects of the current moment.
Right, shifting that focus is crucial. The second stage then builds on this presence by addressing the thoughts that keep you stuck. Purkiss delves into the concept of negative mental loops, those repetitive, draining thought patterns. He explains how our ego, in its attempt to create a sense of security, can actually construct limiting beliefs, false narratives that hold us back.
Think of those ingrained beliefs like, I'm not capable, I don't deserve good things, or the world is a dangerous place. These are the kinds of mental prisons that Purkiss is talking about. Similar to CBT, his approach involves first recognizing these unhelpful thought patterns. Once you bring them into conscious awareness, you can begin to challenge their validity and consciously redirect your focus to the present reality. Purkiss also mentions affirmations, intentionally choosing positive statements. But their effectiveness lies in truly feeling and aligning your actions with those statements, not just reciting them.
That makes a lot of sense. Awareness is the first step to change. The third stage then takes us deeper into letting go of the pain that runs your life. Purkiss suggests that unresolved emotional wounds from the past can operate beneath our conscious awareness, significantly influencing our adult behaviors, things like constantly seeking approval, fearing rejection above all else, or striving for unattainable perfection.
What's fascinating here is how these past emotional experiences can create unconscious scripts that we play out in our adult lives. Journaling can be a powerful tool for externalizing and processing these emotions. Developing emotional awareness, recognizing your triggers, and observing your feelings without judgment allows you to step out of reactivity. And fundamentally, Purkiss emphasizes the importance of forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Forgiveness isn't about condoning past events. It's about releasing the emotional charge that continues to bind you to that pain.
And that leads us to the final stage. Surrender and tune into something greater than yourself. Now, the idea of surrender can sometimes be misinterpreted as giving up.
Right.
But as Purkiss explains it, it's about releasing the need to control every single outcome and trusting in a larger flow, what he calls a higher intelligence. He clarifies that this isn't necessarily a religious concept, but more about moving away from constant overanalysis and tapping into our intuition.
Exactly. Think of it less as divine intervention and more as trusting your gut instincts, those subtle inner nudges that we often override with our rational mind. Purkiss suggests practical ways to cultivate this surrender, consciously releasing the need to micromanage, paying attention to recurring intuitive thoughts or feelings, and trusting that life has a natural rhythm that will guide you, even if the path isn't always what you expect. This aligns with the Taoist principle of wu wei, or effortless action, allowing things to unfold naturally.
It's interesting to see how these ideas resonate across different schools of thought. Purkiss's emphasis on presence and non-attachment clearly echoes Buddhist teachings on mindfulness as a path to reducing suffering.
Right.
And the Stoic focus on accepting what we can't control really aligns with that final stage of surrender.
If we connect this to modern psychology, the parallels with positive psychology are also evident in Purkiss's emphasis on well-being and shifting away from negativity. His framework offers a practical application of these broader principles for navigating the complexities of contemporary life.
Considering Purkiss's own background, his transition from the corporate world to personal development gives his perspective real weight. His observation that external success doesn't guarantee inner peace highlights the crucial role that learning to let go plays in overall well-being. He makes it clear that this is an active choice, not a passive acceptance of circumstances.
Precisely, letting go requires conscious effort and a willingness to confront what we're holding on to. It's a sign of strength, not weakness.
There are a few key quotes from the book that really crystallize these ideas. One that stands out is, "The more you let go, the more easily the change will happen." It really speaks to how our resistance often creates more friction and difficulty in our lives.
That's a powerful insight. Our tendency to cling to the familiar, even when it's uncomfortable, can prevent us from embracing positive change. By releasing that grip, we create space for new possibilities to emerge.
Another quote that resonated with me is, "Thoughts and feelings are like images which are projected onto the screen. We get so caught up in the thoughts and feelings that we forget about the screen." This beautifully illustrates how our minds can create illusions, that we become completely absorbed in losing sight of our underlying awareness.
This analogy encourages us to step back and recognize that our thoughts and feelings are transient events, not necessarily absolute truths. By observing the screen, that underlying consciousness, we can detach from the drama and gain a healthier perspective.
And finally, I noticed that the less I reacted to other people's moods, the more my relationships improved. This highlights the power of emotional detachment and fostering healthier connections. It's about maintaining your own inner equilibrium rather than being swayed by the emotional states of others.
Exactly. When we're constantly reactive, our relationships can become volatile. By cultivating a degree of emotional resilience, we can respond with more clarity and stability, leading to more harmonious interactions.
So for you, the listener, how can these principles become practical? On a personal level, if you experience anxiety, Purkiss's emphasis on being present can offer a powerful grounding technique. Learning to identify and challenge those negative thought loops can significantly boost your emotional resilience. And engaging with past emotional pain through journaling and emotional awareness can be a vital step in healing and building stronger relationships.
And in your career and daily productivity, consider how much mental energy is consumed by worrying about things outside your control or overanalyzing decisions. By practicing letting go of that mental clutter, you can reduce stress and free up mental space for more effective action. Purkiss's idea of tuning into your intuition can also lead to more decisive and aligned choices.
Absolutely. And on a deeper level, for those interested in spiritual growth, the practice of surrender can cultivate a profound sense of inner peace and trust in the unfolding of life. It's about shifting from a place of constant striving and control to one of greater acceptance and flow.
This isn't about passivity. It's about aligning your efforts with a deeper sense of trust and allowing life to unfold with less resistance.
So to recap the key takeaways from our deep dive into John Purkiss's The Power of Letting Go for you. First, cultivate presence and savor each moment. Second, learn to detach from negative limiting thoughts. Third, actively engage with and heal past emotional pain. Fourth, practice surrendering to the flow of life and trusting your intuition. And remember, letting go is an ongoing practice that unlocks greater freedom and well-being in all aspects of your life.
These 4 stages provide a clear roadmap for releasing what no longer serves you and moving towards a lighter, more authentic way of being.
The Power of Letting Go offers a really variable and practical guide for anyone seeking greater peace, clarity, and effectiveness in their life. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most impactful action we can take is to simply release our grip.
Consider this. What is one specific area of your life right now where consciously applying the principle of letting go whether it's a past resentment, a persistent worry, or the need to control a certain outcome, could create the most significant positive shift for you?
That's a powerful question to reflect on. If you're intrigued by these ideas and want to explore Purkiss's framework in more detail, make sure to grab a copy of the book from the link in the description.
And subscribe to Books and Bytes.